Hi everyone, my name is Ahmed Umran. I'm a strength coach, nutrition coach, and health and fitness professional. Today I want to talk about a very interesting topic, which is high intensity sports during the month of Ramadan. Now, it is probably quite commonly known that we have a lot of different tournaments during Ramadan, like football tournaments. We play more often, more games, we play quite late at night. And I just wanted to talk about the possible problems or dangerous effects that it might have on the body because of our fasting, the way we eat, the way we drink, all of these things. So one of the two major factors that can affect performance is sleep and dehydration. Those are the two major factors that can get affected during Ramadan. And what I want to do now is just talk quickly about the first topic, which is water and sleep, and how it's very hard to get good quality amount of water and good quality amount of sleep, while also at the same time how it can affect the body in terms of performance. So let's start first with water. Unfortunately, because of the very short period of time that we have between futur and by the time we sleep, it's very difficult for us to get the right amount of water that will help fuel our performance, to help us remove the likelihood of injuries, reduce the likelihood of heat strokes, dehydration, things like that. So unfortunately, it's very difficult. And at the same time as well, the way that the lack of water that we get, the cultural norms, the societal norms, will not also help us get a certain amount of sleep. Now, obviously, because we eat quite late and then we eat again even later, we won't be able to go to bed until quite late at night, which obviously affects us as human beings, because we naturally have a rhythmical cycle of going to bed late at dark and waking up when sun rises or in the morning. Unfortunately, that isn't the case when it comes to Ramadan. So going to dehydration, it can affect our body in so many different ways. Now, there is some research that shows that just losing 2.5% of your body weight as water can actually reduce your performance by up to 45%. So if you're a 60 kilo person and you've lost 1.5 kilos of water, that will reduce your performance by almost 50%. And that is a crazy amount to think about because of the lack of water that we are able to get throughout the day. Now, what are the several things that on how water can affect our bodies? That it increases our blood volume, which means it increases our blood pressure and affects how much our heart has to work. It also increases our core temperature, which is obviously not a good thing. You never want to be more hot than you should be when it comes to performance, because even a slight elevation in your core temperature can affect how your body functions, how your body moves, and that is mainly from the lack of sweat that we can have. So we aren't able to sweat because we don't have enough water in our body, which obviously provides us with an increased core temperature. And finally, obviously, our joints move through water. So water provides liquidity in the joint. So you're not able to move back and forth and move left and right as ideally as you want to. This is how it can get affected when it comes to water. Now, when it comes to sleep, there's a lot of things that happen when we don't have good quality sleep. So it can be from lack of motor function. It can be from a reduced reaction time, a reduce in sprint performance, a inability for your muscles to recover. It's hard for your metabolism to increase because of the lack of sleep. There's also mood adjustments and hormonal changes that are also affected through this. So it makes you, it actually increases your ability to gain weight. and gain fat stores in places that you don't obviously want. So an interesting study from the University of California actually showed that youth athletes are higher likelihood of getting injured during a game when it was followed by a night of having less than 6 hours sleep. There was also another study that showed that youth athletes, the best predictor of injury in youth athletes is not how much they practice, but actually how little they sleep, which is a very interesting factor because most people don't realize the detrimental effects of a lack of sleep or good quality sleep. So there's also some research that shows that you're 1.7 times more likely to get hurt in a game when you aren't sleeping as well as you should have. So all of these factors are huge, and they play a huge role in what we should think about when it comes to sleep and performance. And then one final thing that I like to talk, that's not exactly performance related, but just 3 days of less than 6 hours sleep for a teenage boy can drop their testosterone level from that of a teenager to that of a 30-year-old, which obviously is greatly detrimental for them when it comes to how much muscle they can gain, how much fat they can lose, how well they recover, how they feel, their confidence, all of those different things. So it's very important to understand the differences between sleep and hydration when it comes to performance. What we can do during Ramadan to help with our hydration and our sleep. There are several things that we can implement, and one of the best things you can implement is a good nutrition program. The reason why is about 1/3 of the water that we get comes from our food. And what most people don't realize is the food that we eat during Ramadan is not very water dense. So what we want to try to do is replace some of those heavy meals with some fruits and vegetables that have more water in it that will help kickstart your hydration process as well. Obviously, with also having a good routine when it comes to just generally hydrating as much as possible. In terms of sleep, what I like to do is to at least 3 days before a game situation, try to sleep a little bit earlier, try to get into that routine where you get good quality sleep without the TV, turning off all the lights, making sure that you're nice and comfortable in your bed so that once you get that good quality sleep during the game time, you are ready and able to perform. Thank you very much. Ramadan Kareem. I'll see you next episode.